Hey, I'm running into a lot of difficulties. This is like the third or fourth week I've gone without actually smoking anything. Whenever you actually saw me smoking, wasn't really anything at all. It was almost like make-believe. I spent my money on something that well, whatever it was. Um, but what I'm going to get into now, the reason I came on is because I just keep finding so many little things, and they're new and they're small, and it's almost like saying, well, what does that mean? It's just nothing. It's nothing. No, if you do not want to understand, to learn the new world that I create, then of course it is nothing. Don't watch. This is for those who can go and seek out and seek a deeper knowledge, connecting their own worlds. What I'm trying to do in a certainty is I find things and they mean something else. So maybe this will help you find something you're looking for. And I'm going to get into where I wasn't before. Has anybody ever seen this start off like this? It starts off like this because 1 is 1 and can't get doubled. So they put 1 here. So you have to only add them because multiplied, they're no more than 1. So 1 and 1, A and B. And then in here, you can no longer multiply them evenly, although there is only 1 now because she takes over this. So it's multiplied by 3. So then B, beta, takes care of 3 and takes care of 1. It is 2, 1 and 2, 3, and it'll be 1, 4. Because the D is the spirit. Okay, the angle of the spirit, this is the spirit rod. The D takes it and puts it into this world. Okay, in which this, number 3, which is down over about here, as this design, I'll show you over here. Anyways, okay, this is the matrix memory. Okay, M&M. I don't know what I can tell you more than that than say it's the angel resident memory. RAM. 1-8. The 8 heaven of the 1 in the center. The dog pound goes all the way around. Of 113. Of 113. RAM. I didn't design this. 13th letter, I put it here. First letter, I put it here. 18th letter, I put it here. I didn't mark it, just works out to matrix memory, that's all. Grand slam, 4 runs, going around the bases. No, we're not getting into that. You know I can get into anything. I can touch on anything. What a beautiful world when you sort of make something from nothing. Grand slam is more than just 4 runs because you got to touch first base, second base, third base, fourth base. They each get a number. Therefore, your totality at the end will be known by the number of bases you have touched. So anyways, what does that have to do with anything? It's a lot of it has to do with the electrical setup. Some has to do with how it's built. I mean, you don't see a black hole, right? Behind my cigarette, it washes away. It like opens up a skin, and they go through it and it closes. Except this is all electronics. Just like I'm moving my hands right now. How am I electronically doing this? I think, and where is it sending the waves? Isn't it great? We can just, our minds can just, it's insane. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, we're going to get back to this a little bit. Okay. This design, if you ever see this design here, okay, what it actually means is the 8 number means the heaven. The 11 number means B. When I told you, see 11 over here and 11 over here? Because 1 takes over A. When she takes over A, she becomes a K. Because the K is the 11th letter in the alphabet. 1 and 1 are 2. Then she would have to take 10, which would be the J letter. I'm just trying to see if I have that J letter somewhere here. I marked it down over here. J. J-A. Why J-A? Because J is the 10th letter, and it starts in the 1 position. So that's where it all begins. That's why J is with A. So they're both before B. So J gets to do more than TH. time heaven. YTH, number 28. See number 28? The next level you go up, next to Ja, is TH, time heaven, 28. Center world of both numbers. They're both black because they belong in the center world. 2 is in the center, 8 is in the center. In 10, the 1 is on the left and the O is up on top. These both belong in center. Ja can never be changed. Ja for Jack, or anything you want to say along those lines. I don't know the whole terminology. There's more words that are spelled. Then when you see home plate, excuse me, we didn't finish here. 13, okay, is the letter M, okay? The alphabet goes from A to M. But since B takes over 1, okay, on a dice, okay, A to E, I'm going to have to do this real slow. If we're going by dice, it's A to E, okay? Now we add on A to E because A is being canceled out, okay, because B is taking over. So instead of having just 5 on the dice, we now have 6 on the dice. Well, the dice didn't have to be created that way. They just didn't. The dice did not have to be created that way. They could be created whatever they wanted. This is what came up in man's mind. So A moves up to F, and that's 6. And what happens to A? Well, the next born angel gets put into that spot. Since God moved up to the man's level, man has to move down to where God first started, back as a little angel in number 1. And that's why there's never any letters in just an exclamation point, because there's so many things going on with number 1. Because 1 and 4, well, I mentioned this before, the D, okay, which is D, and A, which would be 41 or 14, which is Sesame Street. How can I explain it? On 2 dice, there's a total of 12, okay? Since the ace doesn't count in all actuality, okay, they had to put 1 more because man had to come into this world, okay? So you needed all the elements in order to get man into the world. So man is actually becomes the 6 now, and the 1 element of spirit that goes in between lights him up as actually 1. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's 1, 6, 1. There's 2 elements of spirit. Man is the life of, within he has the spirit and the spirit of the heavens. So 1 is 1, 10, 19, 28, and there is no 37 in roulette. Bingo, that's man. Because where's this thing over here? Where did I mark this down? Where did I mark this down? Just give me a second over here. I know I marked this down. Don't tell me I went into three pages already. Oh, I would have never thought of that. Okay, I didn't think I had it. So what happens is J is now 1. Why? Because God is Alpha Omega and J is the 10th letter. The 10th letter has an O in it and a 1 in it, which is first and Omega, and the first is Alpha. Alpha Omega comes out of the J letter. So now if you go A to J, it's only 10 on the dice. No good. You remove A from the dice. You now add on K. So you removed A, you added on K, and you still have the same 10, 11, 12, with the A not there. It starts at B. B controls A and C. Every level of 3, the center one controls the other 2. In most scenarios, if there is an odd number, that is the one that controls the 2. If you're going to go into pi and you hit an odd number, it is that odd number that controls the outside. If it is an even number, you have to create an odd number. Odd number in the center stands as value 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You don't have any even numbers because they suck. What happens is, how can I explain this? If you put an even number in here, it would own these 2 numbers. Okay, that's what happens. I didn't explain it right. This number is the odd number that owns the two even numbers. These two odd numbers are separated because they both own part of the center. This would be 7, this would be 9. This is the reason you only see 3 letters on this on your phone, 4 here and 4 here. Here's 3 levels. 1, 2. 2 owns both sides, there's nothing else. This is the center level. Okay, again, but here it starts at 4, 5. The reason for that, because this is the center. Center is always 5. Then you flip it over and you do the same thing again. But don't forget, there's this side and this side. And I don't know if you ever did this, but you got to take a marker, okay, and see what I can do right here. Just give me a second. I'll be with you in the center. This is the angle. Okay, there's 2 angles. There's this angle here, and there's this angle here. Okay, are they the same? Are they the same? Basically the same thing, right? So now we know we have the center of the card. But if we fold the center of the card, okay, we split a shape in half. So we can't do that. Okay, so one world, okay, one world, right? You see where the split is now? It's not cut. You see it's bent over, but it's not touching the center one anymore. It's no longer touching the center one. So they make one world like this bigger than the other world. Okay, they have to. Somebody has to have the center. You can't leave the center open, not here. The center must be alive and living. We are that center. We are the nougat in the middle of the Oreo, or whatever you want to call it. This shape, my friends, if you take a look at it, okay, it stands on 2 heights. Why 2 heights? 1, 2. 2 heights. 1 at the top, 1 at the bottom, automatically 3. 3 against 1, 2, 3. How can there be 3 here and 3 here? Because it doesn't work the same thing out there. We're a put-together world. This is the L angle of gamma. Okay? We'll throw that away. Another thing I was going to jump onto and jump out of and jump into is how can I find this? The reason B takes over A and C, if you even look at the B, it's made with the 1 and 3. It's all made out of the same thing. And this is the M, and at the same time it's the McDonald's logo. It's also made with a double D. The first 4 are automatically in the other world. What he did with ABC was D. Then the electronic world, where man had a face, the gates of heaven, the birth, where all 10 men came in. Here's another thing. If you add up the letter value of the word 10 in Jack, it totals 39. If I add up the letter value in 1 as A, it would total to 73, and that's the same number we're looking for. Okay, why are we looking for 73? Because that is the put together worlds, the 777, but also because of this. 7 and 3. Boy, I lost myself while I was talking to you. I'm all over the place again, eh? So, not only that, but because F and A go together, 1 and 6 creates a 7, it's a F or a Fa. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti. Think it comes from nowhere, it comes from somewhere. So F equals 6. B plus A and C. So B equals 2. A and C equals 4. 24. 2 and 4 equals 6. 6 and 24 is 30, and that is creation. Then we came on to something else. Now, it's still, I know it's a little bit complicated, okay? But as F and A, okay, A becomes F because we get the spirit inside of us, okay, to the east. Why in the world is it to the east? Because of this. The 3 points east, okay? It's an E that points east, okay? Inside the word, east. My video keeps knocking out on me and I keep losing what I'm actually going to say. Now, why do we have O? Well, because omega is 6. East. East of F, G, H, I. Now, I'm not even explaining this properly. I'm not even doing it half as good as I should. Anyways, I don't know why. It's in here it's telling me east plus omega to the west. Now, what am I trying to get to with all this? Can I take another look at it? Because I am definitely going to cancel this whole video. I've never done this before. Because there's a message in here I found. Do you ever think of this? Alpha omega. If alpha omega started at 1 and ended at 10, he would be 10 and 1. He would be the first equation of 11. Then the second equation of 11, he'd have to multiply 1 by 10. He'd be 10. He'd be 21 again. The letter U. God owns the letter U. We are in the ranch right now. Now, where is my numbers over here? Why is the east and not to the left? Anyways, here's the controller. This dice over here is what controls everything. This is what would be delta. This would be number 5, the E world, okay? This is who we are. Everything's being controlled here. See the way the Superman sign came out, the design? Even the pig's nose came out. I don't do that purposely. These are the things that build within the creation of the truth. These are the way the dice go. I'm so out of it today. It's terrible. Another thing about, okay, when you write the word to the west, the word to, because there's a vowel next to it, you can consider it all in its own, which is 20 in value. If it's 20 in value plus O, it gets you 200. If it's 200 at 0.25 degrees in this world of any kind of movement, would give you the passage of 50 to the east of alpha omega. Well, that's basically what it says. B plus A and C, as A becomes the children of a lesser God, matrix, heaven. The other thing I was going to get into and I didn't do it, this says MDC, MDCCLXX V1. But I'm trying to find something else in there, because when you do V1 at the end and you put everything close together, this changes the scenario. Or it says 4 to begin with, 6 to end with. O, question mark, I'm not sure yet what it is. 20 worlds of 6. 4,000. Oh, okay, here it is. 4,076. 4,076. Now I got to figure that one out. Okay, next. Next. If you really wanted to recreate Monopoly, you would have to use, okay, for 36 properties, you would have to use 72 dice. For 4 corners, you would have to use 16 dice. Okay, the Mediterranean is the only one you cannot touch to start the game. So what we have to do is we go down to 70 plus 16 makes 86. Our original start was 72. We ended at 86, 72, 86. Another thing about 72, 86 is all you got to do, okay, is remove 4. You have to remove 4 because you can sit on go, you can sit on visiting jail, you can sit over here, but you can't sit over here. Minus 4 from the 72 to 68, you have 72, 86, MrTacpans. That is one of the numbers, the passage of creation. I'm so sure about my work. I'm so sure. Then there's this. This is the roulette. What do you want to know? Have you ever looked at this, the Hebrew letter Gimel? One Gimel here, one Gimel here. In English, they put it in upside down Y. In Hebrew, you got one over here, one over here. I'm going to darken it up so you can see it. All right? Is everybody okay out there? I'm going to fix up that Gimel so everybody will see it. There's Gimel. She's connecting to these numbers over here, which are 96 and 68, which is total. 30, 32, 34, 36 creates the Gimel. The answer is 9668. 2 letters, O and N, and means birth in this world. The births, I and I. I and I. It means chai, it means luck. I and I, which is 18, which is the one spirit of the octagon world that we live in. Okay, there's another one up here. Everything on the roulette wheel doubles. Here and here. Here and here. Here is your E-world, because this is the only place that does not double, because this connects the two sides, the first 18 and the second 18. So whatever you want to know will be in here. A story you want to know about pi, well, just shove your pi in here. It'll give you colors, black and red. It'll give you numbers. It'll give you shapes. So if you want to do something, add it in here. Anyways, I didn't finish adding this up. As 1 is the same as 2, as 10 is the same as 11. 5, 5, 5, 15, 25, 27, 37, 47, 49, 59, 63. $63. Okay. Now, Jupiter has 63 moons. Right? Jupiter has 63 moons. 11 is 63. Okay, hold on a second. Alpha Omega is 10 and 11. 21. 3 21s. U. Do you know why this is U? Because it's the 21st letter. Okay? And not only that, two in French is U. 20, 20, 20. The T's. 21, 21, 21. Moons on Jupiter. Moons on Saturn. I don't care about the other moon. What about me? I don't get a moon for me talking. Sometimes you got to add a moon. Sometimes you don't. You know, sometimes you put yourself in the conversation, and sometimes you just have to be the speaker but not get involved. So now we have the U, and it is Uranus. It's already 2 U's. Pluto gets 1 U as a 4th U. Neptune gets a U as a 5th U. Where are all the other U's? They all connect. Well, this is not just a planet that's floating around. This is more spectacular than anything, because things can actually change. I mean, really change. Things will come into this world so fantastically new, it's insane. These numbers just don't float around. And yes, I'm new at this, and I'm all over the place, but besides that, I mean, if you would catch me in the first expression, you would understand. And not only that, since everything is Trinity, right, and it's U by 3, 3 times 21, who God is also 63. 6 and 3 is 9 births. 6 by 3 is 18, which is the one spirit of the 8 that go around, the stop sign. 18 and 9 is 27, and everybody seems to be dying. And the 7th gate of the lesser God, 2, comes out of that number. 222. And in English, we also say TWO, TO, and TOO. And we go to TO in Toronto. Every letter combination, like right now I'm starting to, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. I should seriously jump into Spanish or something, but I'm looking to jump into something from Asia, China, Thailand, somewhere around there. I want to learn, there's too many things I want to do, and I'm not getting half of anything done. It seems like I keep getting a piece done, but it's okay, because I'm always advancing all the time. What also you have to work on are these numbers here. You got to know the totality of the Roman numerals. Now, did I make a mistake? It totals 1666. 1616. Are these times or anything mean anything? The only ones you really want to look at to start is these. 12 and 16 is 28. And that, my friend, is right here. Just like I told you, J, A, and T, H go in the same box. Creation over here under this arm, here's a Y, and the heaven is in between. See this Y going down? Okay, and this area going up. There's another, see the X here? X on this side, Y on this side, O in the center. 1, 1, 1, the three worlds, and now they come out to play right here. One part of this world inside this square, one part of this egg inside that square, and then their own square altogether. See what happens? Their square goes inside an upper square and a lower square, so the world that we're in that's supposed to have 4 corners only has 2 corners. 2 corners of one and 2 corners doubled. 2, 4, 5, 6 man, and 1 for the 7th gate. And if you want, 9 and 10 for the totality of God putting his spearman sticks and knotting together the think of this, Nottingham, or Nothingham, N-O-T-H. You think it was a mistake they didn't call it Nothingham? That H after a T is so important. Time, heaven, transmission. The other part in here is this part here, where the 36 is, the function. You see the letter T that comes out here? It is like that. These are doors. I do not know how they function yet. I really don't. But I can tell you when you see 2 Y's like this upside down, their value is 27. It means love. Why? Because they're upside down. They become the sometimes Y. Sometimes they're right side up. Oh my God, I still haven't even really gotten to the alphabet yet. I don't know what letter goes first. I think, out of my dream last night, that Omega came before Alpha. Because in order for Alpha to come to birth, he needed the Omega. So it's Omega, Alpha, Omega. Because in the primary world, in the world that we don't even get to think of, he is one of, I mean, the way I see it, I mean, I believe there's a whole ranch out there, and there's different gods for different planets or different organizations, but there is a superior god that gets a superior planet, and we are lucky. We got the right planet. Then again, you know what I'm also thinking? That when you saw Back to the Future, I think that must happen. In order to make sure that we do not fault anywhere and blow up ourselves in some way, God has to run alternate worlds. And you can't see them because they're all inside. We're not outside. I told you, only at night may you see the night sky. Didn't you hear what God says? He divided the day and the night. I mean, if he divided the day and the night, how did he do that? He has to put us in something to divide us. He has to separate us with something. What did he separate us with? Is it just the difference of the clarity? Do you think it's the difference of the clarity that makes up for the day and the night? I made you day and night. How do you do that? You shut off the light, you turn on the light. He didn't turn off the sun. So obviously what he did is when you can see out the back window, I can see, but I can't see in, but I can see out. Raphael, 7286. Sorry for all the mishap, but you got to check roulette. If you're looking for some answers and stuff, it's in here in roulette. And somebody once mentioned number 852, and 852 can tell me a lot of things. It can tell me the Omega egg, but according to what I got from the Omega egg and the 852, and it totals 416, it tells me about the vibrations of the one spirit coming into this world. That's what it tells me about. And then there was 552, no, 582. Well, it doesn't matter because 582, okay, 28 is the spirit heaven, okay, 582 and 28, and if you reverse that, 28 to 82, it becomes a 1010, and it comes out perfect, and it has to because it's in the one spot. And 1010 is a 20 world, which is the beta world, the 20 world. 20 times 0.25 movement creates 50, which is the E worlds, and Jack, J-E, the E world and Jack the fifth letter, and Jack, instead of A, it's Ja that comes in. And he opens the omega egg. He opens his egg to come into this world. We're always entrapped with some kind of element that connects us to some sort of a system that keeps us in life. You see, it's our brains that need to live, not the body. It's the brain. The mind must do something, because a mind unused it'll just completely, I couldn't even say it, it'll destroy itself in search. The mind won't stop. If the mind is not tired, it won't stop. When the mind is tired, it'll stop, and then the cats go to sleep. Raphael 7286. I should have told you about every single number. Just remember, if you see this, it means something. If you see this, it means something. If you see this, you see the reason why it's a 20 world, because every dot is worth 5, okay? 5, 10, 15, 20. Okay, this is B world because it's on this angle. And then God is like this. Here's this X mark. Here it's plus, here it's X, so you'll know whether it's multiplied. At the same time, putting this box around an X, you do make a division between two sides. And if you put a dot here and a dot here, you become the digital world of the two sides. Just split apart these two V's on each side and split everything apart, and you'll have more room. And they also look like angelfish. At the same time, God gets 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. For his, Beta gets 20. Total of 45, add up 1 to 9 is a total of 45. At the same thing, okay, in this world of God, what he can do is he can overlap and overlay. He comes from here to here, okay, down to here, and that's 3. And now he does the cross angle, and that's 6. But you cannot do the cross angle that way, because he can only connect this way behind it. You don't see it. Because what has to happen is this part over here, who runs this part over here, takes over this arm. This takes over this arm for the secondary world. D takes over this arm for the spirit world and the 7th gate, and then they go. So if you add up these 3 and these 3, this will actually add up to 30, and then the inside world 20 would make your 50. And if you actually want to know where number 50 is, it's right here. That would be number 50, right over here. This is one of them. Here's another number 50. Where is it? This is 37. This is another 50 over here. You live between 50 and 50. The 50 and 50. So if you're in Canadian football, you have 10 yards plus the field length. And now you should go to football and study that, because this is how this works. You jump from one area to another area, and when you're working all alone, all you look like is a crazy lunatic jumping all over the place, trying to catch up and explain to the people so that you have a little ambition to keep on rolling. Instead, I'm getting less and less and less watchers. I make them too long. I'm too complicated. Give me something to work on. So whatever it is, so now you know. You got one set of that there, one set of that there. 45 and 45 is 90. That is the birth. Okay? Now if you want to start counting 1 omega, 2 omega, 3 omega, 4 omega. You see the omegas, the eggs? 5 omega. 1, 2. Can you see the diamond? 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3. Well, this one wouldn't be the same thing. There's something wrong here. Why is this one going completely finishing off there and this one is not? And it's the exact same thing. Anyways, there's 1, 2, 3 overlapping, 4, 5 eggs. Each egg worth 15. 5 times 15, 75. Or 57. Now how do we get 57 in this? And the reason we need to get 57 in this is row right over here. I don't know if you can see it. The first row of the first 18 is the spirit, first world. Second world in the 20s, first world. Okay? So how do you get 19? Right next to 20 in this world is number 19. But you need a total of 57. You need 19, 19, and 19. If you take 19 and 19, it's the S letter and the S letter, and boom, bang, boom. We've got the number response right here, 83 or 38. But we need three 19s in here, okay? Now, which will make 5775, but I don't want to show you it. I want to show you it in a way that you'll believe me, because you'll have no choice but to believe me. Go to roulette. Look up a roulette board, okay? Look up the wheel, on the wheel. It'll say orphelin, or orphans, or orphelin. There's going to be two sections of numbers. Count them both. They both say 5775. The future has been told inside games all over the place. Thus, when that future came about to be, the future is another thing. Check that out. We're going to stop for now. So we know there's 5 eggs, which is 75. So if there's 5 eggs, there has to be 3 spirits. Each spirit is worth 19. Each egg, okay, is worth 15. So what we would have is 75 and 57. We'd have 132. 1 plus 2 plus 3 equals 6, and the game is over. Oh, for sure. October of 2014. I've been here too long right now. I'm sorry for the length of this video. I'm sorry if I disturbed anybody's life thinking that you're going to come on here and find solutions for something. It's just not so. We'll let it go this way. Raphael 7286. I think on my next one I'm going to jump on and fool around with try and explain all these numbers here. Right? 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 Wow, how come I just don't shut it off? Shut it down!